So, good day. This is Group 3, and we are tasked to present the modern age invention. So, the modern age, also referred to as modernity, is the post medieval era, beginning roughly after the 14th century, a wide span of time marked in part by technological innovations, urbanization, scientific discoveries, and globalization. Speaking of technological innovations and scientific discoveries, we, together with my group mates, are going to present pictures that belongs to modern age. Next slide, please. In the past 200 years, the world has been transformed by a succession of innovative new machines, inventions, and gadgets. Great modern inventions include camera, computer, internet, laptop, light bulb, smartphone, petroleum refinery, printing press, and X-ray. Next slide, please. Those modern inventions mentioned will be tackled one by one to know about their uses and purpose. And by the end of this presentation, we will also conclude how these inventions impacted people and the society during the time period they were made. Next slide, please. So let's start with camera. A camera is an optical instrument used to capture an image. At their most basic, cameras are sealed boxes, the camera body which you can see on the picture. It has a small hole on it, which is the aperture that allows light in to capture an image on a light-sensitive surface, usually photographic film or digital sensor. But camera isn't just mere for entertainment. It could also be used in diagnosis, such as what we observed on clinics and other medical establishments wherein they use camera for diagnosis. It could also be used in travel documentation, wherein a lot of accidents nowadays are being documented by cameras. And the popular use of this also in our era or in our generation is to scan or take notes, wherein it is also beneficiary to people who cannot see clearly, wherein they can just zoom in. And nowadays also, it is very useful for businesses, especially that we are on a pandemic and face to face is limited. And as the world of technology continuously to evolve, to it is also used in translation, wherein you're just going to capture the text and it will be automatically translated. Not only was a camera invented to film and project motion pictures, but cameras also allowed many people to view them. But as per Dr. Douglas R. Nickel, camera technology alters the way we understand reality. Next slide, please.
So, computer is a programmable electronic device that accepts data, performs operations on that data, presents the results, and stores the data or results as needed. So, the purpose of the computer is to perform calculations, store information, retrieve data, and process information. A computer has program data or computer language that tells the computer how to fulfill its purpose. The computer will only do what is programmed to do. So computers can be used in business, education, healthcare, retail and trade, and many more, and especially today that we are facing pandemic and we have an online class. So brief history on computer is the computer as we know it today had its beginning with us 19th century. So computer is invented by Charles Babbage, English mathematics professor. Charles Babbage designed the analytical engine, and it was this design that the basic framework of the computer of today are based on. So computers have changed the way people relate to one another and their living environment, as well as how humans organize their work, their communities, and their time. Society, in turn, has influenced the development of computers through the needs people have for processing information. So, one of the ways that computers have made an impact on society is in how people have organized themselves in workplace, groups, and relations to computers. The earliest computers were developed to perform specific tasks in science, engineering, or warfare that had previously been done by hand. As a result of the various improvements to the development of the computer, we have seen the computer being used in all areas of life. It is a very useful tool that will continue to experience new development as time passes. That would be all my part. Thank you.
So the internet. The internet is a very complex operation that consists of websites, windows, URLs, and the like, created and developed by the computer scientists Vinton Cerf and Bob Kahn. Um, the internet is the brain of a vast network that is composed of detailed protocols and rules. These networks include the World Wide Web, social media, applications, and many more. So the internet primarily helps us connect easily and help us utilize other online inventions to connect with other people across the globe at any time. The internet has become so powerful that it helps us with our everyday living, especially today that we are in an worldwide pandemic and almost everything is done online. Most importantly, education is still made accessible through the internet. Almost everything can be done in the internet from buying groceries, doing researches, paying bills, banking, and a lot more. Lastly, the internet has significantly helped us live convenient lives where almost everything is in our reach with just a few clicks. That would be all. Thank you.
Laptop. A laptop computer is a small personal computer. They are designed to be more portable than traditional desktop computers, with many of the same abilities. Laptops are able to be folded flat for transportation and have a built-in keyboard and touchpad. So it was Alan Kay who first created the concept for the laptop computer. So early laptops were so heavy, but as time goes by, laptop has changed over the years. So better batteries were able to reduce the weight. So so laptops have grown smaller over the years as technology and storage capabilities have improved. Next slide, please.
Next is the light bulb. So a little background about this invention way back 1879. Throughout the 19th century, inventors produced simple electric lights pa lang. For example, Joseph Swan produced a simple electric light, but he struggled to maintain a power source and the filament soon burned out when the vacuum was exhausted. This filament is the wire filament yung it is heated until it glows. The filament is enclosed in a glass bulb with a vacuum or inert gas to protect the filament from oxidation. So as days passed by, it was Thomas Edison who made the light bulb into a practical low current version. He used this filament based on a burning sewing thread. So people nowadays, di ba, nag-use na sila LED bulb, incandescent light bulb. When say incandescent light bulb, it is probably the most common style of light bulb in use today. Ang sa ato pa kay the old-fashioned one, not very energy efficient and they don't last long. So a light bulb produces light from electricity. People could have a well-lit environment made it easier for them to read or study and perform work-related tasks. It helps establish social order after sundown, extended the workday well into the night, and allowed us to navigate and travel safely in the dark. People didn't have to depend on candles or kerosene lamps in order to be able to see because early people used candles and oil lamps for light. So the benefits are many and include increased energy efficiency, lower electric bills, a longer bulb life, and a better and safer light source overall. And LED bulbs were designed as a more energy efficient light source using a semiconductor to convert electricity into light. That's all. Well, next.
Before we go into what a smartphone is, let's take a quick look at its history. The tech company IBM is widely credited with developing the world's first smartphone nicknamed Simon in 1994. So, a smartphone is a cell phone that allows you to do more than make phone calls and send text messages. It has a touch screen for interacting with users, as well as the ability to access the internet and run software programs like a computer. There are thousands of smartphone apps, including games, personal use, and business use programs that all run on the phone. In conclusion, the creation of mobile smartphones allows improved communication, assistance in emergencies, quick access to information, enhanced knowledge of global concerns, and many other benefits.
Okay, so next is the petroleum refinery. So an oil refinery or petroleum refinery is an industrial process plant where crude oil, a naturally occurring fossil fuel, is transformed and refined into useful products such as gasoline and other fuel oils. They are important as raw or unprocessed crude oil is not generally useful in industrial applications and is highly hazardous. So, a little history about petroleum refinery is that the world's first systematic petroleum refinery was built in Romania in the year 1856, and at its time, it greatly helped people light up their oil lamps by producing kerosene. So, oil refineries also played a huge role in the World War II, which fueled the tanks and the during the war. And in the present, due to the rapid growth of science and technology, the petroleum industry is in very high demand as we use refined oil to produce heat and energy for our devices and machinery.
Another invention from the modern age is the printing press. So we can see two different pictures of printing presses from different eras. And from these pictures, we can clearly distinguish the evolution of this machine from its form to its functionalities. So printing press is a machine that produces uniform printed matter in large quantities, primarily text, in the form of newspapers, books, and pamphlets. So in our time today, now that we are living in a so-called internet generation wherein we can almost do everything with just one click in our smartphones, we can immediately send and receive information to the world. However, before the emergence of these great technologies, we owe all the information that we've learned and news that reached us to the printing press. So how did the printing press affect our society, by the way? There are countless of things, however, the most important thing that it helped us in spreading knowledge. So in the 15th century, printing press had drastic effects on European civilization. Not only that it helped spread information quickly and accurately, this also helped create a wider literate reading public. So it provides an easier way to print books, and more printed books means more affordable books. So by that, it only means that not only the elites and the richest can afford books, but so could the poor. So thanks to the invention of printing press, our libraries are filled with books and records from the past, including the modern times that we can study and examine.
X-rays. X-rays are a type of radiation called electromagnetic waves. X-ray imaging creates pictures of the inside of your body. Their purpose are useful in detecting abnormalities within the body, They are a painless, non-invasive way to help diagnose problems or detect problems such as broken bones, tumors, dental decay, and the presence of foreign bodies. A little bit history about X-ray. X-ray was first discovered by Wilhelm Roentgen in 1895. And Mary Curie developed this discovery and through her work by 1914 and been able to successfully create an X-ray machine which could be used to take image of the human skeleton.
So, in conclusion, those aforementioned inventions have greatly impacted the people and society during the modern age because they made their lives easier and brought civilizations towards technological advancements. Their massive contribution to mankind has been evidently shown in the convenience they have experienced, which has raised people's standards of living, stimulated economic growth, encouraged cultural development, address the basic needs, and influence human activities with fast access to resources. So for the various purposes, we need to be reminded of the proper use of these technologies also, like the media platforms that we often get addicted na. So because too much of this may lead to negative or detrimental effects and disadvantage to our health. So with the birth of the internet came the rise of scamming, mga hacking. While the internet has given way to many wonderful things, it is important to take a look at the other side. Next slide, please. In this modern society we're living in, we continuously utilize these inventions that would pave the way for more discoveries and research with wide-ranging aspects of science and technology in the future. Overall, this wide variety of inventions encompasses areas including politics, diplomacy, economy, medicine, transportation, agriculture, social capital improvement, and a lot more, yielding to a progressive society of the times. So looking from the positive perspective, it has a great help and contribution, especially in our current times in the midst of pandemic when we use this technology, cell phones, laptops right now na. Ito, nag-record ta. It is really helpful in various disciplines din, Jude, and sa education. We must be responsible, dapat may self-discipline and not becoming too dependent on it. That's why technology as the product of science should be used in moderation. We need to establish something balanced in our life, maintaining awareness as this course of science and technology brought humanity immeasurable benefits. So next po. That could be all. Those are some modern age inventions. We hope that you gained insights and learnings about those inventions from this report. Thank you for listening and God bless.